I used to do a show, a syndicated show called Rockline that aired all over the country, and it was a 90-minute live interview show with primarily rock and roll people. And one time we had Slash from Guns N' Roses on the show.
Wow.
That's your face.
Yeah, and we're doing the show and whatever. It was a call-in show, and people would call in to ask questions. And we would usually plant one call from whoever the next week's guest would be to basically promote the next week's show. So, oh my God, it's so-and-so, and you're going to be on next week, and whatever. So in this particular case, the guest next week was Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley from Kiss.
Yeah.
And so Paul Stanley was calling in, and so my producer gets in my ear, and he says, okay, your next call is going to be, or we go to break. And during the break, the producer says, okay, Paul Stanley is going to be the first call coming out of the break. You're going to say hi, blah, 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 talk about next week's show. Fine. So Slash hears this conversation as well in his headphones, and he starts regaling me with stories about him, Guns N' Roses and Kiss that were not flattering at all. And, how much he hated him, and he thought they were a bunch of jerks and this and that and the other thing. Really nasty stuff. And I'm hearing this. We go back on the air, and we're live, mind you. We go back on the air, and, here's our next call. Oh, my God, it's Paul Stanley from Kiss. Paul, how are you? And he said, fine, Steve, I was just enjoying your conversation with Slash. Excuse my French, I'm shitting bricks.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is going out live over
strange French phrase.
Yeah. I'm dying, and my career is flashing before my eyes, because not only do I have to deal with the next 30 seconds of whatever Paul Stanley is going to say, but he's going to be facing me with Gene Simmons the next week. We're going to be in the same room. It turns out Paul Stanley was a gentleman, and he really kind of laughed it off and didn't say much. Slash, in the meantime, who's smoking a big-ass joint at the time, literally falls out of his chair in the studio. He literally falls back in his chair laughing. The joint's flying everywhere and this and that. And I'm like watching my life pass before my eyes. And like I said, the next week, Paul Stanley was there. He was a complete gentleman, no worries. But it reminded me of the perils of an open mic.